Good morning. Welcome to JP's Morning Brief for May 19th, 2026. Good morning, everybody. Hope y'all are awake and listening. I know I got COVID for life on the screen right now. That's cool. Richard, good morning. Or Ricky, good morning. Hope you're doing fine. Retired Rob 53 is sound asleep. I know that for a fact because he's one of those stays late, way late up at night and sleeps in the morning. So that's okay. All right. So welcome to the morning brief. As we are rolling up and getting started, everything is fired up. That's good. We got some people online. Uh, Click that follow button. I actually got another follower last time. That's awesome. I'm up to 153. We're ramping them up. We just need to get some people in the chat room now. That'd be awesome. Uh, so click that follow button and then give me a like for the show today, please. And then, like I said, get in the chat. Chat's free and it's temporary. All right. So that is cool. All right. Hope everyone's doing good. It's Tuesday, primary day in 6 different states around our union. All right. So America 250. I'm going to read part 2 of the letter I started yesterday afternoon. So if you want to go listen to the first part of the America 250 part of the podcast on the JP8 report for yesterday afternoon was the first part of this letter, and I'm going to read the second part. All right, because there was a lot of news. There's still a lot of news. So I just read half of it, and I'm going to read the rest of it this morning. So, part 2. John Adams, James Warren for the 18th of May, 1776. Providence has hitherto preserved us, and I firmly believe we will continue to do so, but it gives me inexpressible belief that by our own folly and wickedness we should deserve it so very ill as we do. What shall we say for this scandalous flight from Quebec? It seems to be fated that New England officers should not support a character. Worcester is the object now of contempt and destination of those who ought to be the contempt and detestation of all America for their indefatigable okay indefatigable okay obstruction. That's one of those words that probably disappeared in the English language. Indefatigable. Okay, I have no idea what that means. Obstruction to every measure which has been meditated for the support of our power in Canada. Our province must find some way of making better officers and of engaging abler men in her councils as well as her arms, or I know not what will be the consequence, instead of which she seems to be the contriving means to drive every man of real abilities out of her service. I hope you will not decline the appointment you mentioned. However, nothing would make me more happy as your acceptance of that place. He's talking about James Warren. I am happy. I'm extremely unhappy to hear of your ill health. I hope that you will mend. There is certainly no man in the province who would be so agreeable to me. I can't bear the thought of your refusing. Rejoice to hear that my friends Crafts and Troughs are in the service. Will it do to promote my pupil Austin? His genius is equal to anything. Would not promotion mend his faults. Can nothing be done, Ward? For Ward, aide-de-camp and secretary to General Ward. He is an honest, faithful, daring man, I think, and sensible enough. He really deserves promotion. It is possible to get. Is it possible to get in Boston silver and gold for the service in Canada? Our affairs have been ruined there for want of it, and can never be retrieved without it. Pray let me know if any sum can be had in our province. I shall enclose you a newspaper which you can have read along with the Braintree. I have been, I, I am and have been for. I'm sorry. I am and have been these 12 months fully in your opinion that we have nothing to depend upon our preservation from destruction, but the kind of assistance of heaven to our own union in vigorous exertions. I was ripe, therefore, for an explicit declarations of language which I expressed 12 months ago. But these colonies separately have neglected their duty as much as the Congress. We cannot march faster than our constituents will follow us. We don't always go quick enough to keep out of their way. All right. So that is the completion. I'm sorry about the grammar in that. It's a mixture of Old English and run-on sentences, and I do believe the way John Adams writes, you have to read slower than a normal average person does. Uh, so I'm going to have to get used to doing that with John Adams. All right. All right. So move on to the armament shop. Whether you're looking for your first firearm, upgrading your service as you were, whether you're looking for your first firearm, upgrading your setup, or need expert service, Jason at the Armament Shop is Copper's Coast's premier source for all things shooting. Browse our wide selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, backed by top-tier gunsmithing for repairs, along with reloading supplies and professional cleaning to keep your firearm in peak condition. Need a transfer? We make FFL transfers fast, easy, and affordable. Need your CHL? Jason can handle those classes. He has over 3 decades of experience. Visit the Armament Shop today at 115A West Avenue D in Coppers Cove, or call or text 254-560-2023, or visit www.armamentshop.com. That's www.armamentshop.com. The Armament Shop. Your safety, our priority. All right, welcome back to the morning brief. All right, for the Iran update, this is what we got going on. So 85 vessels have been turned back to Iran so far. 4 have been disabled. That's the going tally for over the last 6 weeks. There's President Trump postponed a massive attack that was maybe going to happen this afternoon, but he postponed it at the request of Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, because evidently there's some behind-the-scenes heavy negotiating going on right now between them and Iran for the United States. Iran's an Iranian news person in Tehran fired an AK-47 at the United Arab Emirates flag. I guess he was a little bit disturbed about the UAE allying with the United States. Iran says its military is ready with its hands on the trigger. 80% of Gazans want to leave Gaza, and Hamas rejects the disarmament proposal from Israel. The Lebanese death toll is above 3,000 people over the attacks between the IDF and Hezbollah. Iran activates its air defense systems. Iran's president, Mossad Pezeshkian, says talks with the U.S. doesn't mean surrender. And Iran launches the Persian Gulf. The Persian Gulf. Oh man, I did an initial and I can't remember. Hold on just a second here. I want to get this right. And it's not updated. Let me refresh one more time. Okay, so the Persian Gulf Something Authority. Oh, wow, I can't believe this. And it's to help control the transit authority through the Strait of Hormuz. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I can't. Don't use acronyms you've only seen one time. All right. All right. And then as of about 45 minutes ago, Brent crude oil was at $110.04 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate is at $102.91 a barrel. And yesterday, the stock market closed up 159.05 points at 49,686.12. Persian Gulf something authority. Okay. I can't remember what the S is. I'll figure that out for this afternoon. All right. So the Texas primary is in day 2 of day 5. I mean, the runoff for the Texas primary is in day 2 of early vote. Here in Coryell County, we had like 600 voters yesterday. So I am supporting for the U.S. Senate Ken Paxton, for the Texas Attorney General Mays Middleton, for the Texas Railroad Commission Beau French, Texas Court of Criminal Appeals Place 3 Allison Fox, and Coryell County Judge Rob Irwin. All right. So polls open at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday this week. All right. Find your local place where you go vote in Texas and go vote. And we'll get into it in just a minute. There's 6 other states having primary elections today. Go vote. Go vote on the Republican ballot. Let's get and keep Republicans in office. All right. So yesterday, a miracle happened. Yes, I'm right. A miracle happened. There was legislation passed in the United States Senate. They confirmed 49 people for nominations for the president. Unbelievable. Take your pulse. Yep, my heart's still beating. All right. All right. So, and one of them is a guy I'm going to talk about in just a second. So, Senate Republicans moved one step closer to clearing out the backlog of President Trump's nominees. There should be no backlog. You have a Republican Senate and a Republican president. It should be automatic because they don't need a 60-vote filibuster. The GOP confirmed 49 confirmed 49 of Trump's picks on Monday, a move that will have installed 60% of his civilian nominees after almost 2 years. BS. It is also the 4th time Republicans have confirmed a slate of nominees in a batch since the Senate's rules changed last year. Included in the batch are 20 different positions, including a dozen U.S. attorneys, several U.S. marshals, ambassadors, and members of varieties of agencies, including departments of war, transportation, energy, and others. Also included in the group is Trump's pick for the Bureau of Land Management and a former member of Congress, Stevan Pierce. Senate Democrats for much of last year have blocked most nominees from getting confirmed. Typically, civilian nominees were often confirmed without actually having to take a full vote on the Senate floor. That obstruction, led by Chuck Schumer, in a bid to prevent Trump from molding the federal government to fit with his agenda, spurred Republicans to go nuclear and change the Senate's rules. That move, the fourth time the lawmakers have turned to the nuclear option in the Senate, lowered the threshold for certain picks to a simple majority vote rather than the typical 60-vote threshold to overcome a filibuster. Why not just vote the rules and terminate the filibuster overall? You're just John Thune. You're finding a way to get unelected. Just remember, if your name is John Thune and the Senate Majority Leader, just imagine if your name is Bill Cassidy. That is what's going to happen to you when you come up for re-election in 2028. I would bet President Trump will self-fund anyone to run against you. That obstruction, okay. That move, the fourth, okay, we did that one. And it was proven a successful move for Republicans. Last year, they confirmed 400 of Trump's picks. We'll get into more of that later on. So one of the big ones that got confirmed was one of the deputy secretaries for the Defense Department that really needed to be filled. And the president nominated Brian Birdwell. He was Senate District 22 here in the state of Texas. But if you did not know, he was a member of the military. And on 9/11, he was in the Pentagon and was almost killed when American Airlines Flight 77 crashed into the Pentagon. He survived, severely injured and burned, and he survived and got medically discharged from the Army and went into politics here in Texas, and he's been serving ever since. And he released a heartfelt letter upon his confirmation yesterday to his constituents because he had to resign his Senate seat. All right. Congratulations, Senator Birdwell. You're going to do very well in the Defense Department. All right. Whew. Next, the reconciliation bill. We're back into the United States Senate. And we got stupid, knucklehead U.S. Republican senators playing their stupid little political games, and they're going to find themselves out of office. Matter of fact, one of them is retiring, and he wants to thumb his nose at the president. Thom Tillis from North Carolina. An internal dispute could derail the Republicans' goal of funding immigration operations for the remainder of President Trump's presidency. Senator Thom Tillis, a Republican, told his colleagues that he would not support the GOP's $72 billion reconciliation package if it included $1 billion in funding for Trump's ballroom. Well, he's listening to too much news, because the $1 billion is not to build the ballroom. The $1 billion is to go below the ballroom to upgrading about 50 years of technology underneath the ballroom to protect the President of the United States. I won't go beyond that, but the stupid knucklehead should just resign his seat now, because he's given everything over to the Democrats or the Dummycrats. Mr. Tillis, do yourself a favor. Save face and support your president for the remainder of your term in the United States Senate. Man. His defection, along with a handful of other Republicans critical of funding, could sink the bill. In given the GOP's narrow margin for the upper chamber, they got 53 U.S. senators. So it says Senate Majority Leader John Thune, the endangered species. Excuse me, man. That's it. I got myself all worked up now. Hold on just a second here. Okay, so the other Republicans in this, we'll go on to the other ones, is Senator John Curtis from Utah, Senator Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, Senator Susan Collins from Maine, and Senator Rick Scott of Florida aren't thrilled with the funding. So you got Tillis, Curtis, Murkowski, Collins, Scott. You have 5 Republicans and 53 votes. That takes it to 48. I'm sure the president's going to be making some phone calls. That's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. You know what? I hope the Senate and the House can get this one bill passed through that and I think it happened in the Senate where they changed the rules in the Senate that if there's a government shortfall, but it won't go into effect until January. But if there's a government shortfall where there's a closure, that the Senate, all their pay stops. And it should be non-refundable. All right. So what I was talking about earlier was that there's 6 other high-profile primaries going on around the country today. Now, usually it happens on Tuesdays, okay? 6 states from coast to coast will hold primaries today in one of the busiest and potential most consequential days of the 2026 midterm calendar. Voters in Alabama, Georgia, Idaho, Kentucky, Oregon, and Pennsylvania will cast ballots in Democratic and Republican primaries in the U.S. House, Senate, and Governor, as well as down ballot races. The nominating showdowns tee up this autumn's midterms when Republicans will defend their slim Senate and razor-thin House majorities. I love how these so-called journalists write their articles. Meanwhile, some of Tuesday's high-profile primary ballot box face-offs will serve as the latest test of President Trump's immense grip over the Republican Party and the strength of his endorsements in the GOP nominating races. 2 weeks after purging 5 state senators from Indiana's primary who had opposed his push for congressional redistricting, and 3 days after ousting Senator Bill Cassidy from Louisiana as senator who 5.5 years ago voted to convict President Trump in his second impeachment trial, lost his bid for renomination. Trump has a new target. Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky. Massie, who's been in Congress for 14 years, has represented Kentucky's 4th congressional district, and he's going bye-bye. I saw some latest polls last night. He's losing like by 6 points in the latest polls. He should be gone by tonight. All right? If you're in Kentucky's 4th district and you're going to vote today, vote for Ed Galrine in the 4th congressional district. And then also in Kentucky, there's Andy Barr, who is running for United States Senate. vote for him. And then in Georgia, vote. There's a variety of candidates. There are Derek Dooley, who's Brian Kemp's endorsement. So I wouldn't vote for Derek Dooley. So there's Mike Collins and Buddy Carter are aiming to unseat Jon Ossoff from the Senate race in Georgia. My recommendation is Buddy Carter. All right. In Alabama, Tommy Turville is running against two other Republicans for the gubernatorial nomination because Grandma Ivy is leaving the governorship in Alabama. So I'm going for Tommy Tuberville. All right. So that's what's going on right now in around. Man, I can't even talk properly this morning. What's up with this? Alrighty. What are we looking at? We're at 6:56. Okay, so evidently, let's just get this over with for this morning. I'm not going to do a raid. Okay, so this is what's happening. All right, we got at least seven different states around the country doing primaries today. We have the big one going on for the runoffs here in Texas, where there's only two candidates per office. I already gave you my personal recommendations, okay? Also, here in Coryell County, we have two county commissioner races going on. I am not endorsing any of the four candidates. Two in precinct 2, two in precinct 4. I don't know if they're listening or not. I like all four of them. I don't like some of the dirty politics going on by surrogates outside of the race. I would just venture one thing, all right? The way you have blasted one of the sitting county commissioner on unfounded and blackmailable stuff that y'all are doing to him. My question to you, did you ever call or contact the district attorney, or did you ever contact or call the county judge over any of this? Or did you just want to blackmail him into not running for office? That's my concern out of this whole matter. Other than that, all four of these men would make great county commissioners. Stop with the stupid, lame brain, negative politics, just like in the Senate race between Ken Paxton and John Cornyn. I see positive, almost all complete positive commercials coming out for by the Paxton campaign, but I see absolutely down, dirty campaign commercials out of the Cornyn camp against Ken Paxton. And the same thing, I'm seeing Chip Roy doing the same thing to Mays Middleton also. We got to get away from this era of just destroying the fellow Republican candidates to make them almost impossible to go. Because like me, I've pretty much ignored these crazy commercials. Because me, I'm going to vote for whoever wins the Republican primary. But I'm a steadfast, loyal Republican. There are people that get turned off by these politics, and if their candidates lose, they don't go back and vote for the winner of the actual primary. That's what we have to stop. Flat out, full stop. No, don't collect $200. Do not pass go. Just stop. All right. All right. That's what I wanted to put out this morning. You got a little bit of I can't remember what the word is called, but you get it. My statement toward the end of this today. All right. So I will be back at 12 o'clock Central. I'm supposed to go vote this morning with my wife, so we'll take care of that stuff. All right. So thank y'all for tuning in this morning. I really appreciate it. Go vote. Keep your head on a swivel. Stay safe, okay? I will check you later. This is James Pierce. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm out.